Hey, it's Phil Aitken here. We're going to talk about another market update, June of 2025. Let's dive on in and take a look. So if you take a look at the market statistics from NEFAR, Northeast Florida Area Realtors, you can just go to nefar.com and pull up market statistics under the resource tab. So May of 2025, this is for single family homes in all 6 counties that we serve for our MLS. The prices are $388,000 for the median price. That's down 3%. So basically from a year ago, it was 404, almost 404, and it's down to 388. In different pockets of Northeast Florida, there's more or less price reductions and price valuations going down in the neighborhood of between 3 to 10%, depending on the area. If we look down here, the number of pending sales was 1,400. That's down 33% from a year ago. So a year ago there was 2,100, and this month is 1,400 this year. And then we have the active inventory is 9,000 properties on the home and only 1,400 pending. So that gives you basically 1 in 5, 1 in 6 houses are actually selling right now. So folks ask me all the time, is it a good market? Well, it's a great market if you're a buyer and you get strategic about how you're going to purchase. For a seller, you got to it's a price war and a beauty contest, and you got to win both. You got to be the prettiest house on the street, and it's got to be a great deal because buyers have a lot of choices, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So if you take a look at these numbers from May of 2025, we're going to click on over and show you 4 years ago, May of 2021. So the median sales price, 388. And the median sales price back in 21 was 310. So nearly $80,000 more costly to purchase a house today than it was back then. The number of closed sales was 2,700 in May of 21, and it's 1,900 homes. So it's down by almost a third. So if you come down here, the pending sales for this month was 1,400, and back in 21, it was 2,800. So things are down by more than a third. And then if you take a look at the active inventory today, it's 9,400 single family homes, and it was 3,300. So you see back then there was the number of houses on the market was going down, and today it continues the number of houses is continuing to increase because a year ago it was 7,600. So buyers have a lot of choices. And if you look at dollars per square foot, today it's 207, and the average back then was 163. So things are up dollars per square foot, up 20%. So this is a great article. If you just Google Redfin press release housing market, as of May 29th, this is the article that came out. And they're basically saying there's 500,000 more home sellers than there are buyers, the most on record ever. So if you take a look at it, the sellers outnumber buyers. It's expensive. Why? Because buyers have less choices today. If interest rates go up 1%, it pushes the buyer down from 10%. In other words, if they were pre-approved for 500, now they're pre-approved for 450 if rates go up 1%. So it's expensive to buy a house. Economic uncertainty and then mortgage rate locks are easing. So the key takeaways for sellers is, the first sentence is, time is not on your side. If you're considering selling, you should do it sooner rather than later, because home prices are falling. They've ranged from 3 to 10% in Northeast Florida. For buyers, the key takeaways are if you can get strategic and purchase a house now, and maybe you get a higher rate today, but you can refinance it when rates do come down, when inflation does come down, and mortgage rates fall. Then you're going to get one heck of a great deal today, and then you can refinance later. And history shows that when sellers are outnumbered by buyers, prices go down, and it's going to continue to go down until interest rates come down. I'm going to get to interest rates in just a minute. But if you take a look at this, the top 10 buyers markets in the country, this is the best place for buyers to be in the country. Jacksonville is number 5. And Redfin says there are 14,000 sellers on the market. This is all properties, condos, townhouses, and single-family homes. And there's 6,500 buyers in the market. But keep in mind, we pended 1,400 last month. So it might be, instead of one out of every two, for every one buyer, there's 2 sellers. It's more like it could be 1 out of 8 or 10, depending on how you look at it, because we only pended 1,400 houses last month that went under contract, and there's 14,000 sellers. So that's a great article. Just Google Redfin's market research. Some interesting statistics here, some interesting slides. Bear with me 1 second. Interesting slides that we've got here. There are nearly 500,000 more sellers than buyers. So this is back, if you go back to so sellers are basically 2 million, buyers nationally are 1.4, so there's 500,000. That gap continues to get wider every single month. If you go back to 2021, buyers outnumbered sellers because people were fighting over houses, multiple offers. For every house there was sold, it was 5 offers on a property. That's because interest rates were less than 3%, and they had a lot of artificial demand because the government was buying mortgage-backed securities, so making the mortgage rates go down. But as you can see, that gap is going down for buyers, and it's increasing for sellers. This just shows you another chart of the same information. This is the unsold number of completed homes. In other words, builder inventory that's sitting. It's great deals on builder products right now. You want to make sure that you're represented by a realtor, because the builders are doing all kinds of crazy stuff right now to incentivize folks. But you got to be protected. Get someone that's going to look out for your best interest. But this is the highest number that we've had since July of 2009 of the number of homes that are on the market that are just sitting. So it's crazy good incentives. Builders are offering rate buy downs that could save you, $500 to $1,000 depending on the price point. They're offering 4.5% interest rates. This is where interest rates are. This chart shows 7.5%, but they're hovering right around 7%. So a rate buy down, whether it's through buying a resale house or or new construction, it just allows the buyer to get in the 5% range. It may cost a few bucks up front. Sometimes we can get the sellers to pay for that rate buy down, where they pay the mortgage company a chunk of money, over $10,000 up front, and then you get a much lower interest rate that's permanent. Or we can do temporary buy downs. So this is real good opportunity to be able to do that. So I hope you've enjoyed this month in real estate. We've got some fantastic opportunities for buyers. Sellers got to get aggressive. It's a price war and a beauty contest. If you'd like to learn more about your local market in your neighborhood, give me a call, 904-440-1758. Take care.